Well, it's been a long and a difficult road for the family. They've been embroiled in a bitter legal battle for the majority of Alfie's life.
Alfie Evans was born in Liverpool on the 9th of May 2016. But in December of that year, he was admitted to Alderhay Children's Hospital after suffering seizures.
After 12 months of treatment and no improvement in his condition, on the 19th of December, the hospital took the case to the High Court to argue that life support should be turned off. That's something the family was strongly against.
Then in February of this year, the High Court judge, Mr. Justice Hayden, ruled in favour of the hospital, saying the medical evidence showed further treatment was futile.
Now, Alfie's mum and dad launched an appeal, but in March, the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court and the European Court of Human Rights all rejected the bid and sided with the hospital.
On the 18th of April, Alfie's father travelled to Rome to meet Pope Francis and begged him to save his son's life. The Pope showed his support to the family and said new forms of treatment should be sought.
But on Monday morning, the European Court of Human Rights rejected a bid for Alfie to be taken to a hospital in Italy for further treatment. And on Monday night, the life support system for Alfie was turned off.
For several days, he continued to breathe on his own, prompting his parents to take their fight back to the courts for one final time, pleading to be able to take him abroad for treatment. But the judge once again turned down that bid.
Well, his dad, Tom, posted on Facebook this morning, "My gladiator lay down his shield and gained his wings 2:30 in the morning. Absolutely heartbroken."
And his mum posted saying, "Our baby boy grew his wings tonight at 2:30 a.m. We're heartbroken," said Kate. Thank you, everyone, for all your support.
Well, Nick Martin's outside Alderhay Children's Hospital in Liverpool for us this morning, and this has been so controversial and something the public have certainly got behind, Nick. But whichever way you look at this, whichever sort of side you ended up supporting, if you want to put it in those basic terms, I mean, this is just a tragedy for everyone. No winners here.
No, it's very, very sad. And when you listen, as I've just done to you guys, just reading out that long list of chapters in this very long story, it really does hit home just how not only extraordinarily sad this story is, but how extraordinarily complex, legally, ethically, morally, in terms of common sense, in terms of the jobs that doctors and nurses have to do. This has been a long and painful story for everyone concerned. And at the heart of this story, many see it as whether you allow parents the right to dictate the future of their own child and how they believe their child should be treated, or whether doctors and nurses and clinicians and the law should be able to get involved in the interests of that child. And that is what this whole story has been about. And those two dilemmas have been head to head for more than 6 months now. There was a thought in the last few days that Alfie Evans could have perhaps gone home, that there could have been some clinical setting set up at home to allow him to pass away at home. That didn't happen in the end. I understand that Alfie Evans passed away here at Alderhay Hospital at 2:30 this morning, and his parents didn't get that chance to send him home. Doctors told the court the other day, a High Court sitting in Manchester, that it could take 4 to 5 days to set all of that up, and it didn't happen in the end. We've had a statement from Alderhay Children's Hospital Trust here in Liverpool in the last few minutes. They say, "We wish to express our heartfelt sympathy and condolences to Alfie's family at this extremely distressing time. All of us feel deeply for Alfie, Kate, Tom and his whole family, and our thoughts are with them." They go on to say this has been a devastating journey for them, and we would ask their privacy and their privacy of staff at Alderhay is respected. This has brought to an end a very long and painful story for not just the family, but friends and people of Liverpool and beyond who've supported the family, but also for the doctors and the nurses and clinicians who've said throughout that they have only ever been acting in the interests of little Alfie Evans, who was brought here, as you say, back in December 2016. Just over my shoulder, you can start to see some of the balloons that have been tied to the trees outside of this very well-known children's hospital. we've got flowers and teddy bears being pinned to lampposts, and I would expect to see those floral tributes gathering in some numbers as the day goes on. Our health correspondent, Paul Kelso, has been looking back at this very complex story.
Alfie Evans' brief life and disputed death has raised fundamental questions about what happens when medicine can do no more. For his parents, Tom and Kate, the decision to withdraw life support was agonising.
Sometimes I wonder if people realise how incredible you truly are.
The film Lorenzo's Oil tells the story of a boy kept alive under treatment by his father in defiance of medical opinion. Lorenzo's sister says the choice should always lie with parents.
If I had to make the choice that Alfie's parents have to make, I don't know what I would say. To this day, I don't know what I would say. But what I do know is that I wouldn't listen to the state, I wouldn't listen to a judge, I wouldn't even listen to a hospital. I think what is really difficult about cases like this, and like Charlie Gard's last year, is that the state looks as if it is trying to undermine the most important relationship of all.
Charlie! Charlie! The issues are familiar. Last July, the plight of Charlie Gard drew global attention when his parents tried and failed to take him to the United States. And last month, Isaiah Hustrup died after doctors withdrew treatment for an incurable brain injury. In both cases, the parents' wishes foundered against British legal precedent. The way the law tries to untangle the knot of medical and ethical issues in these cases is by separating the rights of the child from those of the parents and by placing the best interests of the child first. And in case after case, judges have found in favour of medical opinion. But that legal certainty has made these cases controversial and a magnet for pro-life and religious activists whose support has sometimes looked like exploitation. Charlie Gard's case was championed by American evangelical Christians and stirred by interventions from Donald Trump and the Pope. The pontiff has supported the Evans family too, meeting Tom and offering a helicopter to fly Alfie to a Vatican hospital. A campaigning Christian group has provided legal support and paid the bills. They believe life should be sustained even when there is no hope of recovery.
Where possible, I think the courts ought to allow people to follow their side of a moral dilemma, wherever possible. And it was possible in this case, if the court had said, yes, the doctors are permitted to withdraw treatment here because they believe it's futile, useless, non-beneficial, cruel even, but it is also legally permissible for the parents to find doctors who agree with them.
Alfie's case has stirred raw feelings. His self-appointed army attempted to storm Alder Hey Hospital and staff have been abused online. Doctors are appalled, but say these tragic cases may become more common.
As medicine and science advance, we're going to see more of these cases. We're going to get better at keeping children alive, though sadly medicine isn't yet at the stage where it can cure them.
Resolving the dilemmas facing parents and doctors is unlikely to get easier. Paul Kelso, Sky News.